A couple of buttons on the handlebars are a very useful feature to have as an input. If the bike is in fully automatic mode, they would be used to change the torque setting, and that is effectively so how hard you want to push on the pedals. If it's in constant cadence, they would be used to nudge the cadence up and down, and also if something happened to one of the reed switches, you could go into a manual mode and use the buttons to nudge the hub's ratio up and down. You could have whatever speed hub you desire, really, just code it in. You could, of course, use a phone instead, but I personally find it's not really very practical unless you live in a dry place or have a waterproof phone. And also, connecting up the Bluetooth every time you want to ride the bike is a little bit annoying sometimes. So, what I had on the other bike was these little buttons. They are rather small and difficult to work with, and the problem I had was that although I attached them quite well to the shifter, the hood, being rubber, tended to move around a bit, so they were difficult to locate these. The hood did have like a button imprinted onto it, but because it moved around, you could never really find these. So what I've gone and done is bought some much bigger ones. These are perhaps a little too big, but I'm going to cut a square hole into the hood to keep them in place, and I think I will cover them with a inner tube patch just to help keep some of the water off them. They are apparently waterproof, but they are straight from a Chinese seller, so there's no real guarantees on that. And if the water does get into them, it can be a little bit annoying because they false trigger and the shifting can go a bit weird. The wire I'm going to use is this telephone extension type. It's got quite a flat profile to it, which is quite nice. It's got 4 cores. You could use a USB cable, which also has 4 cores. Although you actually only need 3 for the 2 buttons, although it's nice to have an extra one just in case I add another button at a later date. Decided not to have 3 cores running from the box to then have to split the ground here and have an unnecessary connection. So what I've done is split the outer insulation, and I've got 2 cores going off to one button and 2 to the other. So I'm obviously going to have a button on each side of the handlebars, left and right. These are the buttons attached to little pieces of circuit board just to help with the wire strain relief. And I'm going to solder them on the end here and cover those with heat shrink as well, because it's amazing what a bit of heat shrink does to make something look a bit professional. What I ended up doing, because I didn't think anything was going to stay stuck to the hoods, was to stretch a bit of heat shrink around the button. I've not really shrunk it because I don't want it to hold the button down, and I think that hopefully keeps some of the water off the button. That's where I've decided to position the button on the hood. I've cut the hole out now. It doesn't look too bad. I chose that position because it means that I can get to it if I'm gripping it there. It's easy reach to it, and also it doesn't affect the grip here. I'm not going to press it accidentally. And also if I'm down here, I can just reach up and press it there as well. So that's about optimum for my liking, but you can choose anywhere really. It could be on the other side. Now they're both in place, what I've got to do next is unwind the bar tape and hide this underneath it. That's done. Something very satisfying about hiding cables and wires underneath bar tape. Next is to run it back to the box underneath the top tube. That's it all wired up now. There's getting a little bit of a mess in that corner, but that's all of the wires that I need connected up. So now if I turn it on and press the handlebar buttons, there should be some little flashy lights. Yep, that's the right hand one, and the left hand one. So that's good. Now just see if the code actually works, and so all the pins are right and so on, and go and test it. Thank you for watching.